Hey folks, good morning and welcome to another episode of Steelers Morning Rush. I'm Alan Saunders, and we're not, we're familiar with the car driving version of the afternoon drive and sometimes the morning rush. Taking a little walk through Indianapolis today. So headed to the first day of player interviews at the 2025 NFL Combine. Bringing it along with me. If you hate this, just let me know in the comments, and I won't do it anymore because I'm sure the video might be a bit distracting, but so today, headed to the combine, going to go talk to defensive linemen today. That's what's on the docket for me. Later in the week, we will get to the quarterbacks, wide receivers, and running backs, and cornerbacks, and other offensive linemen at the end of the week. So for today, just D tackles, and I'm going to hit them hard. I think that's one of the areas where the Steelers will be very active in this draft class. It would not entirely surprise me if they take two players in at that position this April. The big thing I want to talk today about is something you're going to hear a lot over the next 3 or 4 days. Something we touched on yesterday, me and Smitty, and that's a formal meeting. The Steelers have scheduled, according to a report by Ryan Fowler of the Draft Network, a formal meeting with Boise State running back Ashton Jeanty. What does that mean, and does it matter? So a formal meeting, as opposed to an informal meeting, is a piece of news. I think I told you guys the Senior Bowl. At the Senior Bowl, every player meets with every team, and they all meet with every team pretty much equally in terms of time allotted. At the Combine, that's not the case. At the Combine, each team gets a set number. I think it's 40, 45. I can't remember. A set number of formal interviews. They can't go over that. Those formal interviews are longer. They involve more of the coaching staff as opposed to just maybe a scout or just an assistant coach. You'll get the general manager. You'll get the head coach. You'll get sort of heavy hitters of a team in one of those formal interview settings. They're in a private space, whereas an informal interview is frequently in a big ballroom, sort of like speed dating style, where one player might talk to 8, 9, 10 teams in a span of a few minutes. Formal interview will be in a private room, and it can last a while. Now, is it news that a team has a formal meeting with a player? Yes, because of the limited resource, right? If a team decides it wants to use one of its only so many formal interviews on a player, that is a strong sign of interest. The Steelers last year did not do formal interviews with players they had already met with at the Senior Bowl. They didn't double dip. They didn't go back around to guys. But sometimes teams do. Also, players with injury concerns or character concerns are probably more likely to get a formal interview because there's just more that the teams feel like they need to know about the player before they get into the process. And so now, as a reporter who covers this event and is trying to talk to these people and is trying to write stories about these people, the way that these formal interviews are usually reported, I find very annoying. And that it's usually someone wandering around from podium to podium without really any context or doing much else work, just shouting at a player, "Have you met with the Bucks? Did you meet with the Jet?" In fact, Broderick Jones, a couple of years ago, was being asked about it was a car crash. It was a fatal car crash with a Georgia player, and it was a tragedy. There was controversy, right? It was a big moment, and some of the Georgia players had refused to talk about it. And Broderick Jones said, "No, it's fine. I'll talk about it," and gave a really heartfelt, professional answer about what happened. And then immediately as he finishes his sentence, you get some Yahoo yelling from the back, "Have you met with the Jets?" So you're going to hear a lot of people complain about this. It is newsworthy. I'm not saying it's not. It's just annoying. And we'll see how many of those we can find out over the course of the week. I'm sure others will do more of that reporting than we will, but I don't mind accumulating the knowledge because it is useful information. That's all I got from today. It is a very short walk from my Airbnb to the Indiana Convention Center, which is now right ahead of me. I'll give you guys the old turn around. Okay. That's it for today. Be back with more with Smitty just after 6 o'clock on the afternoon drive. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications on the YouTube platform so you don't miss an episode. And that's all we got for today. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, enjoy.